Alright, let's do this. Hello viewers, another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. Alright, I got videos done, you know. Oh yeah, I got videos done. What I dropped off today, I got more videos coming, man. So anyway, listen to this. This for you little AMD nerds. It says here, AMD announced Amuse 3.0 AI software update with speed optimization for Radeon RX 9070 Ryzen AI Max series. Yeah. And it says here, Amuse optimized for Amuse 3.0 release optimized for RDNA 3.5 and RDNA 4. It says AMD Tensor Stack have updated Amuse software to support more hardware and newer AMD optimized AI models for stability. It says here stability AI, that is. It says here the generative AI market has experienced a significant growth over the past 3 years. Most advanced models that can generate high quality image and video required powerful graphics card with plenty of RAM. However, a lot has changed and now it's possible to use smaller modules even on Ryzen APUs. Amuse comes with several updates, required both a special driver from AMD AI model release stability AI. This is not a simple download and play setup, but requires some preparation such as verifying hardware capabilities. You will need a special driver. And then it says model SD 1.5 and LCM, and that's for Radeon graphics card with the latest 6 gigs of video memory. And then for the AMD AI Ryzen processor, is most AMD laptop with 16 gigs of RAM. And then for the SDXL lighting, SD3 medium, SD 3.5 medium, AMD Radeon RX 9070 XT, Radeon 7900 XTX Radeon, 7900 XT Radeon, 7900 GRE, Radeon 7800 XT, AMD Ryzen AI 300 series with 32 gigs of RAM, Ryzen AI 395 Max series with 32 gigs of RAM, and then it says video RAM equals video RAM equals 16 gigs. And then for the Flux SCH NEL SD 3.5 large turbo, and that's for the Radeon RX 9070 XT, Radeon 7900, 7900 XT, and 7900 GRE, and 7800 XT, and that's for the for AI now is AMD Ryzen AI Max 395 series with 64 gigs or 128 gigs of RAM. VGM equals 48 gigs. And then for SD 3.5 large flux, it's AMD Radeon Pro with W7900 XT, 48 gigs. Radeon Pro W7800, 48 gigs. Yeah. And it says here, once you have these, it's time to download Amuse 3.0 from here and AI models from here. These models introduce 1.4x to 3.3x speed update, courtesy of Stability AI. Keep in mind the table headers incorrectly says 32 gigs for RTX 9070 XT. Yeah. And what it says here, it says Amuse version 3.0 advanced SDLX text to video support, AMD optimized on NX models, SDXL, control net canny, soft edge, open pulse, depth and mouse, improve impeding with SDLX support, smarter memory management for better performance, infinite upscaling via tiling support, locomotion text to video support, smarter models download, queuing and resume and fail, requires an AMD driver 24.30.3105 or higher. Yeah. He said, what can you do with Amuse? Is photo editing, restyling, video restyling, and even video generation on Strix Halo, although just 2 seconds long. Yeah, technology moves. It says here, we don't have hardware tests out, but let us know in the comments if this update is worth checking out for others. Yeah, AMD, man. It says here, somebody says this works on everything that supports DirectML. You don't need AMD hardware for it. And then someone else has said if that's true, then all Direct 12 Ultimate GPUs, DirectX 12 that is. And then someone says, he said what is Direct 12 Ultimate GPU? And then it says, someone else responds, he says all current GPUs and console DirectX 12 GPUs must support DirectML and ray tracing. NVIDIA RTX GPU debuted support latently, and RDNA 2 and up, plus all Intel D GPUs are DirectX 12 U GPUs afterwards. Good explanation. And then who is this? Ivan said this. How does this work with Ryzen AI processors? Is it running on NPUs? Because my understanding is ROCm doesn't work on APUs. So what software stacks are they using? And then Joe said DirectML. Then Ivan said being tied to Windows to have ML work is disappointing. I guess for most users it's okay, but no one wants to develop AI anything on Windows. And then Dart said this, the program would be fine if it didn't have safety filters. It's running locally, so why limit what it can do? And then Andre, so you need that special program and special driver for AMD and AMD special models to run Flux devs, and you need 48 gigs of video RAM Radeon Pro. And it says, or you get a 6-year-old NVIDIA graphics card video RAM and run GGU version of Flux Industry and Comfy UI that has tons of YouTube tutorials on big communities. To be fair, NVIDIA has a serious issue with Blackwell in local AI. PyTorch stable still doesn't support it. There is no Xformer, etc. It's much bigger mess compared to the release of 4090. I have seen posts from persons who replaced 4090 with a 5090 and sold it after a week and went back to a 4090 due to all the issues with AI. Even NVIDIA is struggling to compete with its own older products. This is unsustainable for industry. We need software to be more hardware agnostic. Shouldn't AI intelligently adapt to hardware? He raised a good point, you know. And then who was this? Damn said this. Yeah, he said AMD should just contribute to open source ecosystem that is stable diffusion, web UI, comfy UI, Llama CCP, and the others, adding their optimization for their NPUs and architecture, so already download models and program benefit from them immediately. And then Felipe said this, Inculati to NVIDIA. And then someone else says it's a Concordo. Anyway, someone else there says the special drivers are just the optimization. In Amuse, they say, requires AMD driver 24.30.31.05 or higher. So what is likely to happen is that the next driver release will include what is in this one. AMD probably just didn't want to do a game-ready driver release. Things just for this. Yeah. So what was this? Joe said this. Comfy UI is very hard for most users. Amuse work out of the box on every GPU with DirectML support. And then Pep said this. You can use Vulkan in IMO Studios for text AI, for image and video. I do not know any model that supports Vulkan. And then Vulkan said this. Hopefully we get real tests. Gen AI LLM, upscaling HW media transcode. Things that were dominant on NVIDIA are starting to get slowly chipped away. One area that still is a huge gap is in 3D rendering, mainly in Blender. And then Nahi and Remy said this 9070 32 gig leak wasn't just a rumor. Then it's probably coming from those AIs. And then Bryce said this. So why does the stability AI chart says 9070 XT 32 gigs question mark? Is it happening? Yeah, these guys. Then I got who is this? Joe said this hardware GPU 9700 XT system memory for run this with task 32 gigs. Then Brio said this. Yeah, I think you're right. That would match the footnotes in AMD's blog. Then Vulcan said this. Freudian slips typo are both LOL, not in the official AMD blog. And then Kak said this. With special drivers, you download more RAM too. Then who was this? Omnis said this. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, people are sharing their different insights and inputs on this Amuse technology. But yeah, they answered your question in the comments section. So Amuse 3.0 it is. And then AI is giving NVIDIA problems. Oh. Let's see what they do in the days and weeks to come. See if they can fix the problems that they create. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah, Amuse 3.0, man. Technology with AI moving at the speed of light. Nice talking to you people again. Crystal, Star Wars, Star Trek 9, Dark Side. Go. Peace.